Welcome to Tense Talk channel. In this video, we'll be discussing past events from everyday life, primarily using the past simple and past continuous tenses. Let's get started. Conversation 1. Hey, do you remember that time when we were at the amusement park last summer?
Yeah, we were having so much fun riding the roller coasters when it suddenly started pouring rain.
Oh, I remember that. We were running to find shelter, and we ended up in the haunted house.
Right, we were going through the haunted house when the power went out and it became pitch black.
That was so creepy. We were trying to find our way out when the emergency lights finally came on.
And then we discovered that we were in the middle of the park's annual Halloween event.
That's right. We were wondering why there were so many people in costumes when we realized it was a special event.
It was such a crazy day. But it turned out to be one of the most memorable experiences we'd had together.
Yeah, it was definitely a day to remember. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Remember when we were waiting in line for the Ferris wheel and that guy in the gorilla costume started dancing?
Oh yeah. We were laughing so hard. We couldn't catch our breath. I think I have a video of it somewhere.
We were eating those ridiculously large cotton candies when a mime started imitating us, remember?
Yes. We were trying to ignore him, but it was just too funny. I never thought eating cotton candy could become a comedy routine.
And when we were leaving the park, soaking wet, we slipped on the same puddle, one after the other.
I can't believe we both fell. It was like a scene from a comedy movie. Good thing we can laugh at ourselves.
Definitely. That day was filled with laughter, surprises, and unforgettable moments.
Grammar explanation. Let's get started with explaining the underlying meanings of the past continuous and past simple tenses in the example sentence below.
We were having so much fun riding the roller coasters when it suddenly started pouring rain.
The past continuous. We were having so much fun riding. Indicates that the scene depicted an ongoing experience of enjoyment from riding the roller coasters in the past. The past simple. When it suddenly started pouring rain. Signifies an unexpected rain that interrupted the enjoyment. Let's continue our analysis on the next example sentence.
We were running to find shelter, and we ended up in the haunted house.
The past continuous. We were running to find shelter indicates that the scene depicted an ongoing running event in the past. The past simple. We ended up in the haunted house signifies where they unexpectedly ended up in the haunted house, which became their shelter. Let's continue our analysis on the next example sentence.
We were going through the haunted house when the power went out and it became pitch black.
The past continuous. We were going through indicates that the scene depicted an ongoing action in the past. The past simple. The power went out signals a sudden, unexpected event that abruptly disrupted their exploration of the haunted house. Conversation 2.
Hey, do you remember that time we went hiking in the mountains a couple of years ago?
Oh yeah, that was quite an adventure. We thought it was going to be a simple hike, but it turned out to be way more than we bargained for.
Right. We were following the trail when we suddenly came across that family of bears.
I'll never forget how we were trying to take pictures from a safe distance when the mama bear stood up on her hind legs and started to sniff the air.
We were panicking and slowly backing away when that friendly park ranger appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, he was calmly explaining how to react in such situations while we were standing there with our hearts pounding.
And just when we thought the excitement was over, we were crossing that old wooden bridge when it started to shake and sway.
We were holding onto the railings for dear life when we realized it was just a couple of squirrels running across the bridge.
It's funny now, but at the time, we were terrified. I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
Absolutely. That hike was full of unexpected twists and turns, but it was one of the best experiences we've shared.
Conversation 3.
Good evening, ma'am. I am Officer Davis. I understand this must be a difficult time for you. Could you walk me through what happened tonight?
Yes, Officer Davis. I was watching TV in the living room around 9 p.m. when I heard a strange noise from the back of the house.
What kind of noise was it?
It sounded like glass breaking. I was initially frozen in fear, but I managed to call the police right away.
That was the right thing to do. Did you see anyone?
After calling the police, I cautiously walked towards the kitchen. I saw the back window was broken, and I could make out a figure running away.
Can you describe this figure?
It was dark and everything happened so fast. But it looked like a man, average build, and he was wearing something dark, maybe a hoodie.
Did you notice anything missing or out of place?
When I went back to the living room, I noticed my laptop was missing. It was there before I heard the noise. I was using it just an hour before the incident.
I see. Do you remember anything else that could be helpful?
Now that you mention it, I remember a suspicious van parked across the street when I was taking out the trash earlier. It was still there when the incident happened.
That's very helpful, ma'am. We'll look into it. For now, try to get some rest. We'll do our best to catch the person responsible for this.
Thank you, Officer Davis.
Key takeaways: understanding the uses of past continuous and past simple tenses in English. 1. Set the scene and interrupted actions. The past continuous tense is used to depict an ongoing event or scene in the past, providing background information before a sudden event occurred. The past simple tense is used to describe a sudden event that took place at a specific point in time while an ongoing action was still happening. Example: she was walking her dog when she saw a meteor shower. Ongoing action: she was walking her dog. Interrupted action: when she saw a meteor shower. 2. Simultaneous actions. The past continuous tense indeed can be used to describe two or more simultaneous actions that were happening in the past. Example: I was playing golf while my friend was playing his guitar. 3. Cause and effect. The past continuous tense and the past simple tense can be used together to describe two past events that have a cause and effect relationship. The past continuous is typically used to describe the cause or an ongoing event, while the past simple is used to express the effect or the event that resulted from the ongoing event. Example: he slipped on the ice because it was snowing all day. Understanding these various uses of the past continuous and past simple tenses can help to make your English narratives more descriptive, conveying a clear sequence of events, causes and effects, simultaneous actions, and unexpected occurrences within a defined setting. Conversation 4.
Hey, why were you absent from the team's meeting last Thursday?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was dealing with a sudden family emergency that came up.
I see. I hope everything is okay now. Can you tell me what happened?
Yes, It's all sorted now, thanks. Well, it all started when I was picking up my son from school. We were on our way home when I got a call from my mom. She had fallen and hurt her knee.
Oh no, that sounds serious.
Yes, it was. While I was talking to her, I could tell she was in a lot of pain, so I decided to take her to the hospital. We were in the emergency room for hours. Doctors were running tests and eventually decided to keep her overnight.
That must have been stressful. How did you manage everything?
Well, it was certainly a juggling act. I was trying to comfort my mom while keeping my son calm. After the doctors settled her into her room, we finally went home. But even at home, I was constantly checking my phone in case the hospital called.
Sounds like quite a day. I'm glad it's all okay now.
Yeah, it was a bit hectic. But you know, when it comes to family, you do what you have to do.
Conversation 5.
Hey, how was your day today?
It was pretty good, but a little hectic. What about you?
It was good too. Yesterday at this time, I was sitting at my desk at work, trying to finish a report.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that. How did that go?
It was a bit of a struggle, but I managed to get it done just before the deadline. What were you doing when the power went out yesterday?
I was working on a presentation for a meeting. It was a bit frustrating because I lost all of my progress.
Oh no, that's not good. What were you working on when the deadline was approaching?
I was trying to put the finishing touches on it and make sure everything was perfect.
Yeah, it's always important to make sure everything is in order before a deadline. What did you do after the power came back on?
I just picked up where I left off and finished it as quickly as possible.
How did the meeting go?
It went well. The boss was commenting on the project progress, and it was a good meeting overall.
That's great to hear. Did the boss have any feedback on your presentation?
He had a few minor suggestions, but overall he was pleased with it.
That's good to hear. How's the project progressing?
It's going well. They were having a discussion about it when the boss walked in, and it seems like everything is on track.
That's great. It's always good to have a good progress in the project.
Thank you for choosing Tense Talk as your go-to resource for improving your English listening skills. We can't wait for you to join us on this journey of mastering the English language. Chapter by chapter, grammar by grammar.